Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second episode of the Beyond the Bar podcast, where we explore life, law, and everything in between.
And today we'll be discussing the topics of abortion and step parent stepchild relationships. So, there was a story recently, I'm sure you guys heard of it, where there was this lady who um uh she basically threw away her children, and because she was a step parent. Yeah. Would you guys like to give the viewers a bit more info on that story, like as much as you know?
Okay, so brief facts of this story was that there's a woman by the name of Mary who was 26 years old, if I'm not mistaken. So, like, this woman, right, was in a polygamous marriage, and then she did not have her own kids. And okay, the other women in the marriage had kids, and she didn't. So she decided to get two kids of the other woman, and there were six. And the other one was two, if I'm not mistaken. And then she decided to go through them. Yeah, so she literally threw them away just because they were her stepkids and they were in a dispute and shanshan. It doesn't make sense, because like, in as much as they are not your biological kids, she literally, yeah, I was about to say duty of care, but anyway, law school stuff. Yeah. She literally had to show that compassion, that affection that literally every person shows to kids. They're literally like 6 and 2, and she decided to throw them away. So then, police officers went there to like look for the bodies, and they only found one body, but they have not yet reported. Okay, I don't know. You guys tell me. They said the other body was dead, and they didn't find the other one. So you guys let me know in case you've like heard of this story. Yeah. So, what are your views on that? I'm just from hearing the facts of the story. I know it's like a crazy story and whatever, but like, what are your views on that?
Well, it actually proves how heartless people are because it's just crazy. How do you throw away children? I mean, where do you even hear such stories?
But in Zambia, but then it brings the reality, the reality of life, which is that there's hatred and bitterness, and I guess that then like that's obviously why there's issues like people actually don't want their children. So that's something that's depressing. In fact, the fact that it weighs on our minds should really, I think it should really make us wake up. Like, this stuff isn't, it's not like it's amoral. Don't be amoral to it. It's a real issue, right? Stuff like abortion, right?
But then, I feel like in as much as people are bitter, when you get married, when you get married to somebody who has kids, you're basically saying you're taking up the responsibility for the kids. So, in as much as you want to be bitter, when you're getting into the marriage, you know that this person has kids, and you know that, okay, since I'm getting into a marriage with somebody who has kids, you're accepting both him and his children, right? So you can't tell me that no bitterness, shanshani, when you actually know what you're getting yourself into, just getting into that marriage. So them basically concluding that no, it was because of some dispute that happened in the marriage and all that stuff. She knew that, okay, coming into this marriage, he's somebody who's got a lot of wives and he has children. So her getting the children and throwing them in the river is just abnormal, guys. It's honestly abnormal and it's very unacceptable.
It's unacceptable, which is brings me to the next issue. Like, what are you guys' thoughts on the relationship between step parents and stepchildren? Do you think there's an actual relationship there? How do you think society should view that?
Well, I think it should be normalized because it's it's real at the end of the day. Yeah, it should be acceptable. There shouldn't be anything unusual about it. Yeah.
Hmm. Tavia, give me your take, and then do you think you can share a story or something like that? That
Okay, so I think when somebody is getting into a marriage and they know that, okay, one spouse or rather one party has a child, you know what you're getting yourself into. So I think it should be normalized. I mean, it's very much normal. If one person is willing to show those kids affection and love, then why can't it be normalized? People try to make it seem like, oh no, it's a bad thing, step parents are bad and whatever. But it's not. Because I actually have a stepdad who I've lived with for 7 years, if I'm not mistaken. But then if people were to see us together, they wouldn't actually know that, okay, there's a stepdad or stepdaughter relationship because of how close we are. Because he showed us love, he showed us affection, and yeah, he's accepted us as his own kids. So yeah.
And from your point of view, do you mind like just like the journey of accepting that? Because I feel like it's very difficult for a lot of people to accept their step parents, or even their step parents to accept their stepchildren. So like, what would you, if you're in his shoes, what do you think he was thinking? I mean, like, how was that journey for you accepting that?
Okay, so I was like a troublesome kid, ka? So I was like a hardest one to convince that, no, you're going to be my daughter. But initially, it started off rocky because we never used to talk. Because we're three, anyways. So these other two are already taken away as our dads. Me, I was just like, no, he's not my dad. But grade 7 results come out, boom, I passed. And then the man is lifting me and throwing me out, oh, my daughter's passed, So I was like, wow, this man just genuinely loves me. Your relatives can't pay for you school fees, can't buy you clothes, can't take you in and treat you like their own kid. But then he did that for us. So I was like, wow, my biological dad didn't even send me congratulations when I passed, but then he lifted me. Showered me with money, I felt like a princess. But but initially your relative can't do that, a stranger can't do that for you, but then he did that for kids that were not his. So then I just said, you know what, let me try to get to know this man. And yeah, from there we've even been inseparable. Now we're besties. So yeah.
Well, that's really beautiful, but unfortunately, it's not most people's reality. Others have horror stories of step parents. Am I right? So yeah, in as much your experience was good, other people have other experiences. So, and that's sad. I
Yeah.
wish it could be like that for everyone.
Yeah. Interesting enough. I feel like that story it touches me because in my personal life I've had a step parent come in, but it almost felt like the opposite, right? And I won't get into details, but it's definitely something adapting to a step parent while your biological parent is still alive, especially if that biological parent cares about you, and it's like to have to try and accept that. For example, you can have a good father and a good, they can be a good father and a bad husband, or and vice versa, right? And to just be told that story, right? I think it's really interesting. I also think it shows the beauty of the gospel, which is like God adopts us in, right? I don't know if you guys have ever thought about it like that. Um,
Wait, when you say God adopts us in, are you viewing it from the point we belong to the world, then He takes us in as His own?
Yes, but then I also mean generally because, like, if you track down the history, um, and you actually pick a study of God, He's supposed to be the God of a specific people that were chosen, and now He chose us. So it's just an interesting way to think about it, I think.
Wow, that's deep. That's very deep. Your views?
It is very deep. But then, I think that's how it should be, Mandy. That's how it should be. Because, like, Mandy, me, I'm still going to go back to this woman. Going in that marriage, she knew that these people had kids and then she just decided to throw them in the river for. Me, I honestly didn't know people in Zambia this heartless. And
Since we're on that topic, I just want to ask, Would you adopt someone given the chance? Like,
Okay, I would adopt. Okay, so here's the thing, huh?
Honestly,
I mean,
would
okay, wait. Have I thought about this thing? Okay, adopting is not wrong. I think I would adopt, but then depends the circumstances. Depends.
Okay, so what circumstances?
Let's say if I was barren.
Okay, so would you love that child as your own? Honestly.
Yeah, honestly speaking, I would love that child as my own because I've already witnessed that in my family, and I wouldn't want somebody to treat me the way that woman treated those kids. So yes, I would show them compassion, I would show them affection, yeah. So yeah, I would love the kids. But you asked me if I would adopt. Okay, so I said depends the circumstances, yeah. So even if I do not like adopt kids, I would still want to, the
Okay, so my views on abortion. I feel okay. I feel if it's in a life or death situation, you should abort. But there's morals and values and all that stuff. So if it's morally wrong to you, don't do it. But there are other
so then
people.
is it morally wrong to you?
I want to answer that question.
Hmm.
We're asking for your opinion. So if it was you and you got pregnant, what would you do at this stage?
Like now, I don't feel comfortable answering this question because I know like you're going to my answer is going to be very controversial and
Any answer you give will be controversial.
yeah.
So,
We have different opinions, and yeah, some may consider it right, some consider it wrong. So yeah, just air out your opinion.
give your opinions in the comments below.
Yes, please do.
Oh, you still want me to give my?
Yes.
Well, people's values differ. So if it's morally acceptable to you or you, I want to give.
You're
my
dodging the
moral-
question.
You're dodging the question. You're not
Dodging the
giving your
question.
opinion.
Bruh. Okay. Okay. Let me answer you. Okay, so I'll answer you in this way, right? What's
at
the
the
use
camera.
of? Okay, what's the use of bringing a child into the world that you're not able to offer emotional support, financial support? Because you're also lacking those things. Like, so doesn't that answer your question?
Okay, so would you abort or not?
Okay, like right now, I don't have any.
Wait, ask a question. Yes or no?
Listen, like right now, I don't have any means whatsoever to take care of a child. I'm dysfunctional myself.
It sounds like
How am
you're
I
saying,
supposed to take care of a whole human being, bruh? No. So that answers the question. I won't say it directly. So yeah, what I'm trying to say is if you don't have the means to take care of a child, don't bring an innocent soul on earth to suffer. That's all I'm saying.
I get. Yeah, I get you.
On to
Nigeria
you,
Olimpo.
Madam Taisia. Would you, given that you're into someone's situation and you're pregnant now, would you abort the child?
Okay.
Wait. Why are you saying it like that? Like Chisomo's situation. I'm not pregnant.
But for real, you said it like it's pregnant.
We were. You are given a hypothetical.
My mom could watch this. Mom, I don't know what they're talking about. So yeah, my name
Oh
is
wow. Okay. Yes, on to you, Madam Taisia.
Hypothetical.
Hypothetically.
Okay. Okay, I don't think I would abort. In as much as I'm independent, shanshani, I don't think I would be able to abort. Because, okay, in as much as I don't have anything and I won't be financially able to sustain the child, I feel like,
Okay, just wait. Okay, so you're saying you wouldn't abort, right? So, the opinion I gave, you guys are trying to make me look like
No, like that's
Okay.
your opinion. That's
It
your
is.
opinion. You say you would abort, and I understand why you're
No,
saying you
I
would.
didn't say that. I've never been
wait,
placed.
wait.
I've never been placed in such a situation. I'm saying like, okay, maybe I said that as a reason to why people abort.
You
Like-
said we said in your own opinion, and you gave us that opinion. So that's what you would do.
No, I
Why do you come by
wouldn't.
picture?
Bruh, listen, I wouldn't abort. I'm saying for people in that situation. Okay, I shouldn't even be giving an opinion because I've never been in that situation. So don't take anything I say personal.
I
Take
feel
it
like when we
personal, it's
talk
from her
about
opinion.
these situations, we don't ask what caused it, and majority of those situations were actually caused by the people themselves, right? No one asked you to go to
A guy and open your legs.
yes, and mind you. Okay, this isn't just me speaking out of my head, right? No other word I was gonna use. This isn't just me speaking out of my head, but if you look at the studies, just anyone to look at a study, ask how much of the percentage of abortions are people actually getting raped, abused, so and so. Those are the minority, and then even then, I would go all the way and say that you should keep the baby because that baby deserves the right to life. One wrong doesn't make two wrongs doesn't make a right, and I guess you just have to ask: would life be better if you weren't here on it?
Why is
Aren't
that?
you a burden to your parents? I mean,
Okay, so let me ask you this, right? We've already established that, okay, abortion is morally wrong, right? But is it legally wrong, like here in Zambia?
okay.
Answer
Ye-
us, counsel. Counsel Mwila.
yes, it is legally wrong with an exception.
Okay.
Right? There is a provision in the penal code which allows you to kind of abort the child, abort the baby, and that would not be considered murder. And with that, I hand that over to Madam Taivia to explain that.
Okay, so the exception.
Yes, our criminal lawyer.
Our criminal lawyer, our criminal
Fiance.
expert.
But anyway, so, so like the exception is that, guys, to alava, ati
Counsel.
when you're pregnant and then the pregnant may either endanger the child or your life, you are allowed to kill
Oh,
the
I think
baby.
As I was researching, I saw that should be section 152, if I'm not mistaken.
She didn't chat. But anyway,
I researched, bro.
but anyway, yeah. So abortion is not acceptable.
Okay, guys, so this brings us to an end. It's been a lovely episode full of insightful opinions
And emotion.
and emotions and lovely opinions. It's great to
Stories.
hear. Yeah, it's great to hear you guys. You guys. Okay, you people's takes on this topic.
Apparently, you are not our hosts, we are people. But, anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you on the next episode of the Beyond.
The bar.